Hello, everyone. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television.
And I'm Kim Anderson, Director of Programs and Grants at Humanities Montana, and a board member on MCAT.
Thank goodness. We'd like to welcome you to this, our second edition, in what I'm saying is season 5 of Missoula Live.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I'll pledge, if not this month, next month, we're going to have a bona fide opener.
Good.
Yeah, with
we want to get fancier.
Rousing music,
Slightly more professional.
aerial views of the city, and all that.
Excellent.
So I've got a few things to say. We'll get to our first guest, and mine are about MCAT matters, one of which is our Dude in 72 contest. It had begun last Friday. We're recording this on Monday afternoon, October the 3rd, and the contest is going to end in 1 hour.
It might be too late.
See if there's any blood out on the carpet when we finish the show. But you, dear viewer, have the opportunity to support these producers by going to their award screening. The award screening is going to be held at the Roxy Theater, 718 South Higgins, at 5 p.m. this coming Sunday, October the 9th. And it's free to go there. And if you go to the Roxy this weekend, you'll be going amidst the Montana Film Festival. So they have a wonderful array of all kinds of films, and you'll at least get to sniff that atmosphere. If you've never gone to the Roxy, it's a great time to go and see the wide variety of things they have to offer, plus that intersection of media, which a lot of people consume in bed or on a couch. I know I do. But media mixed with real people. So that is probably a big distinction in modern life, when so many things can be absorbed alone at home or in a small knot of acquaintances. That the idea of going out in public to absorb anything, like a film, a concert.
Well, and the Roxy has really turned into kind of a hub for nonprofit film media and, you know, the newest indie release or whatever it is. I mean, their array of programming, I think, is so wild and terrific. And they're great partners for organizations like ours.
Exactly. So if you want to support local filmmaking, put it on your calendar. Sunday, October the 9th, 5 p.m., a free screening of the 2016 Dude in 72 entries, plus the exciting announcement of the award winners. The judge this year is Doug Hawes Davies, the founder of the Big Sky Documentary Film Festival, and he's going to be on hand, you know, to talk about, you know, what he saw and how he went about the judging, and then you'll see people squeal with delight. Or a handful of people squeal with delight.
Agony of
defeat. There's the
defeat.
agony of defeat too. But somebody's going to win $500 that night.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to win. Some other group's going to win $300 and $100.
I think that's a nice twist to have Doug talking about what he's seeing as a professional filmmaker. I don't think we've ever done that before. I like that.
Yeah. So, and also it's nice for people to say, okay, this is the judge, and he really did look at my work, and this is kind of where it's coming from.
Get his input.
Another piece of MCAT news, our Saturday animation drop-in sessions are back. You can bring a child who will go with you between the ages of 9 and 13. Scott's showing you our website, mcat.org, on the screen, and there you can see Saturday animation is back as well. There's a $10 fee. As I said, the suggested age range is 9 to 13, and kids would be doing stop animation with a large Lego collection, with wireframe figures, with diabolical Play-Doh, which I'm forever vacuuming off the floor here. But they have a really good time, and it's only $10. And the counselors are great. I can attest for every one of them. They're very patient, enthusiastic. They enjoy being around kids. They enjoy technology. So you can have a good time for very little money. Moving right along. The second Wednesday is coming up. Wednesday, October the 12th. We'll be here before we know it. And every second Wednesday at MCAT, we give a tour and training at 5:30 p.m. People could say a half hour, you could say an hour, you could pester us for 90 minutes with questions or what have you. But there you'd see, okay, what facilities do we have at MCAT? What cameras do we check out? What does the studio look like? And so on. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pre-register. You have to come down here, 500 North Higgins Avenue, corner of Spruce and Higgins, at 5:30 p.m. And then lastly, I'm going to say Homecoming Parade. And Scott is going to show you a teeny bit of the capture we did last Saturday. You can see the Homecoming Parade on our Facebook or our YouTube, or at mcat.org on our video on demand. So we had 3 cameras down there right across from Grizz Central, right across from the grandstand where great commentators from the radio stations.
I
forgive
feel
me,
a little
I
guilty
don't
I
remember
wasn't
the
there.
names. But if you feel guilty at home, you can assuage yourself by taking a look at MCAT's coverage of the parade, and that's available, as I say, at YouTube, MCAT TV, or Missoula Community Access Television on Facebook. So, have I said enough? By gum, yes.
There's always so much going on here.
Right,
It's
and
hard
there's
to
always
get it all
more.
in. I
There's
know,
always
I
more.
know. Well, I just have one little thing. I am making a plea to all of you out there. Humanities Montana just received an award, a grant award, to do some new contemporary current issue programming.
Interesting.
If you've watched me before on this show, you know that we do, there's our website, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
We have a catalog of speakers or conversation facilitators called Montana Conversations, and speakers in the schools, where we have over 100 different people all over the state that give talks about different issues, and it can be history or literature, the arts, current events, and this particular new award is to create a special catalog called Our Current State. And it is about issues like income inequality and other current difficult conflicts we face in our state. And that could be environmental concerns, it could be racial injustice. So it's a big, wide array. If you have an expertise and would like to get other people talking about an issue that's dear to your heart, please contact me at Humanities Montana. I'm Kim.Anderson at humanitiesmontana.org, or just go to the website and there's a link that you
Like
can
staff or
info at humanitiesmontana.org.
Oh, that's great. What wonderful news.
We pay you an honorarium, and we pay all your travel. You only agree to do programs when and where you'd like. And it's a great program, and it will help us get Montanans talking about the things that are really important in our state, as opposed to maybe the latest ridiculous thing that your friends are sharing on Facebook.
Well, that's an editorial, but I'm sure everyone could agree.
It's all good, yeah.
We could die of triviality
Yes.
in these very important times.
That's
Because
it
there's
for
so much
me.
information.
I
Well, that's
know.
wonderful. It's
I
a
know.
wonderful segue into our guest,
Yeah.
Freddie Kane, representing Montana Wilderness Association. I think you guys, one of your organizations, should be talking to Humanities about this very issue.
You could probably offer something.
Absolutely.
Ownership
Good.
of public land.
We'd love to
Yeah.
come
One of
talk
our
about public
themes.
lands. Yeah, absolutely. Thank
Good.
you very much for having me.
Oh, you're most
Yeah.
welcome. Thanks for
We'd love
waiting.
to. We'd love to come and chat with you guys about public lands. I think it'd be.
Excellent.
It's pretty pertinent right now.
Boy, is it. So what's going on with the Montana Wilderness Association?
Yeah.
What
So
are you up to?
So next Tuesday we're putting on an event. We're calling it our Wild Stories series, and what it is a night of storytelling about our favorite places, and getting folks out, coming in and listening to folks, talk about different places that they've been, their experiences on them. We have a few folks that are telling incredibly personal stories, some really funny stories, some pretty suspenseful. So it's going to be a pretty well-rounded night.
Great idea.
And we were talking a little before we started doing the show that if people saying, what does he mean? That they could think of that Moth Project or Mark Moss, who does Tell Us Something, but this theme is very focused on the land, on the public lands of Montana.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, with those other ones that you mentioned, Tell Us Something or the Moth Radio, each episode they pick a theme and everybody tells stories sort of centered around that theme. And I've always been a huge podcast fan and a Moth fan, and they've been my favorite for a very long time. And I just thought, what a wonderful way for folks to sort of connect with the issue beyond politics, beyond the political aspect of it and the policy aspect, and like really focus in on like why we actually enjoy being out there. And everybody has that story, and so I thought it'd be a fantastic way for folks to get excited about public lands. And
Absolutely. Now, do you have your roster of storytellers already in place?
Yep. Yep.
How did you go about that process of choosing and finding storytellers?
It was a pretty fun process. A couple folks are good friends of mine who I knew just immediately when we came up with this event, like that person has a good story. I know that they've got a good story. Other folks were sort of floated in my direction, and after a couple of different conversations and a little bit of, prodding, they, agreed to tell their story because, the thing that we really wanted to focus on is making sure that it was a diverse group of storytellers. I think often when you hear about, adventures outside or whatever, it's sort of a homogenous group of people that tell that story.
Tall tales from the fishing hole.
Right. I mean, and so we really wanted to expand it and really wanted to make sure that we're people of color and Native American speaking and queer people speaking and women speaking. So it wasn't just like this straight white male telling the story about they went skiing last weekend, just really making sure that it was a well-rounded event.
And you mentioned one of the ideas of the event would be that people could connect to whatever it is in individual human beings that connect to wilderness, that connect to the landscape. That idea, that it's not necessarily a political analysis of what is going on. We talked a little bit about federal to state land transfers and that, but the point of the evening is that people can share that appreciation for our wilderness that almost seems kind of like a universal.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean that was definitely the point of it. I think there is a lot of politicization right now about public lands, about questions of ownership and where it should go, who should manage it, how they should manage it, and it gets very convoluted, and it makes some folks, if you're a policy nerd like myself, really engaged, but a lot of folks get a little disengaged when it gets that messy.
Technical.
And folks, sort of tune out, and they don't quite realize what the implications are behind these decisions when it comes to, policy issues. And so I wanted to sort of mitigate that by, having this event and playing towards people's ethos and like why we actually love being out there, why public lands are so important. Because everybody has, that story that makes them connect to it. It's less about hearing about other stories and making more about people remembering that one time that they were out backpacking, canoeing, fishing with their dad. Those connections is sort of what we were drawing at.
Because in so many of these issues that have to do with land use and who controls it, people on both sides of the conversation have very emotional ties to the land.
Absolutely.
So this is one way of bringing everyone into the same space to talk about their connections.
Yeah, that's such a fair point. It's not like, the people on...
They
hate the land and they don't like... they're passionate about it too because they love being out there, and so it's something for everybody, I think.
And the event is going to be Tuesday, that's October the 11th.
Correct.
At the Top Hat on Front Street.
Oh, fun. That's a fun location.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah, they have a beautiful stage there, wonderful lighting.
Yep.
And what time is the event?
Stories start at 6 p.m., so we're encouraging folks to get there, maybe half an hour early, get some dinner, get some drinks.
Right.
They're setting up the area to be kind of like cabaret style, so there's going to be a bunch of tables, and it's going to be a really fun, low-key event.
And is there a cover charge?
Nope, absolutely free.
Oh, this is
wonderful.
so cool.
Yeah.
And if
have
people want
dinner
to
and a
learn
drink.
more about it, let's say they forget everything.
Oh, right.
They would go to I couldn't tell if Scott showed the website. I think he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Wildmontana.org.
Wildmontana.org.
Oh, okay.
And you can
There we go.
learn more about us there, and sort of talk or learn about public lands issues there, and get yourself maybe caught up on the conversation if you're not sure what we're talking about. And then we also have a Facebook event page. So on Facebook, it's just
look it up
Wild
on
Stories.
Yeah.
Right.
Wild Stories at the
Easiest.
Top Hat. In your event bar, search however
So
you
this
find
is
us.
not really a fundraiser; it's an awareness raiser, right?
Yeah, it's a fun night to come talk about stories.
So
to come hear
cool.
stories. Yep.
Excellent.
You'll have a full house, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Brendan, thanks so much for taking the time to come
Yeah,
by.
thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
No, we've got more guests, of course. So I was going to say that Scott probably has some public service announcement for you. We're going to trade out guests, and we'll be right back with Adam Sears, right? He's going to talk about Pianissimo.
Pianissimo.
So we'll be right back.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Birthdays come and go, each year adding up to a lifetime full of extraordinary moments. At Missoula Aging Services, we promote the independence, dignity, and health of older adults. We are ready to help connect seniors to the help they need. Knowing you've got friends to support you, each birthday can be special. See how we can help. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here.
We call ourselves those guys.
What does his hand signals mean?
Oh, he says, like, keep talking.
There we
right?
go, okay.
He's saying keep talking because he's
And then-
fading us in over. The clip that you just saw was from a pianissimo, and Adam Sears is here representing the concert series. Welcome, thank you for coming.
Hey.
And so that you were in the forefront of the clip people were watching.
Yes, that's right. I'm here to promote the Pianissimo concert, which is happening in less than 2 weeks now. It's happening on October 14th and 15th, I believe.
Yeah, we've got it here. We've got
Yep.
you covered.
And the concert this is the 9th annual concert of the Pianissimo. It's part of the Celebrate Piano series, and that's a benefit for the Keyboard Society Fund at the University of Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the past, Chris Hahn has been here talking about it, and Steve Hessler's been here talking about it, and we learned from them. For instance, that like a concert grand piano was purchased, through proceeds of people donating and proceeds from the concert series. And I think they went to New York. Did they go to Astoria somewhere? Where Steinway was or
Yeah,
is?
that's in New York. That Steinway Gallery. They chose this beautiful concert grand out of 5, I believe, and that one just really spoke to them, and it's been really treating us well since then.
It's a
beautiful.
magnificent instrument. It must be so great to play it.
Yeah, it is. It was named the Hessler Steinway because Stephen Hessler has been such a great part of the.
Well, a lot of us look forward to this event every year and it's kind of known for huge numbers of pianists being involved in one way or another. Can you explain a little bit about?
So we involve a combination of, this year is actually we're having a high school group contributing, and then community members, pianists, the undergraduate level. I'm a graduate student and faculty, so it's just a big, sometimes it's up to 25 people performing, and then it's various combinations of piano ensemble groups. So from 5 people on one piano, as you saw before this little interview, and then to 10 people on 5 pianos. So we're gonna have 5 concert grands on the stage, and this is at the University of Montana, the recital hall, the music recital hall.
And we've always said the acoustics are great, and I think they are because I've gone to a number of concert series there.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful venue, and it gets crowded. I think people should buy tickets. As soon as they can.
Definitely.
Oh, it does say that. This popular event often sells out.
Yes.
So get your tickets early. $25 general, $20 for seniors, $10 for students. Why do students always get the break?
Because they're poor.
I guess that's the idea.
Yeah.
They have no money.
Yeah.
We want the young crowd that can really energize. But Yeah, it's always so exciting to perform for such a enthusiastic crowd, and so we'd like to have you all come. We're inviting everyone to come.
What are some of the pieces this year?
Well, I'm involved in a couple 5-piano pieces, like the Rhapsody in Blue by Gershwin.
Oh, beautiful.
And then there's a Stravinsky piece that the Firebird suite, part of that. And there's lots of different combinations. I'm not sure the entire program yet, but I'm playing in a Rachmaninoff piece, the classic Prelude in G minor, which is for 2 pianos and 4 performers. And that brings me to another point that I wanted to mention. Just the concert following the pianissimo concert will be the American Piano Quartet, and they're a really well established piano ensemble, and they've actually contributed a lot to the piano repertoire of 2 pianos with 4 performers. So
when are they coming?
Coming on November 16th. Yeah, and that'll be in the Denison Theater.
Bigger venue.
Yeah.
Be a great concert.
Well, great. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, that concert they're putting on, as you know, all of these benefit the Keyboard Society, which just benefits the students' travel costs and scholarship money, as well as maintaining piano, maintenance at the school music, and but they're putting on a children's concert as well, so it's really nice. Already hundreds of children, 5th graders, they're going to be coming for one of their performances. Neat. Yeah, so that's always a pleasure. Yeah, I think that's about all.
Adam, thank you. That's
well,
great.
It's a well-loved event, and let's give out the details again.
Yeah, here they are again. Friday and Saturday, October 14th and 15th, 7:30 p.m. at University Music Recital Hall. I call it MRH.
Yep, MRH.
MRH, Music Recital Hall. So, tickets are $25 general, $20 for seniors, and $10 for students.
And where can you get students ahead of time? Or students,
the tickets.
When can you get students? When can you get tickets?
Oh, right. So there's GrizTix.com, I believe.
Yeah.
And you can get it at the box office in the Par TV building in the university. Also, we may have a website that.
Yeah, Scott just had it up.
Yeah, he's at GrizTix, so people at home can see
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Right. So you can buy tickets ahead of time.
Yes, and that would be preferred, actually. So instead of lining up, having like a line of 50
often
people.
is. With the little metal box, and everyone's writing a check.
It takes forever. So.
Yeah, that would be better.
Well, great, Adam. It looks like another wonderful concert. We can't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So we'll be right back, you guys. We've got more show. Kelly Rosenleaf is waiting outside. She is representing Child Care Resources, and they just became a neighbor of ours at MCAT. They moved upstairs.
That's very cool.
So we'll be right back. See you in a bit.
Get up, I know you found a way. Head up, look through those clouds of gray.
Now it's our turn. Go to ourturntohelp.org and donate what you can. Hope is on the way.
Mommy, I'm hungry. You're almost there, baby. Do you want to play a game on Mommy's phone? No. I think you will when you see
AT&T reminds you, it can wait.
Nature Nathan here, on my own in the Montana wild. I'm used to having my best mate Liam behind the camera, but he said he was rather tired of getting chased by bears. The show must go on. Set up quite nice, really. Stuff from a lovely fish dinner. And I've got my bear spray. Oh well, I should be fine for the evening.
When adventuring in bear country, remember, hike in groups. Bring bear spray and know how to use it. Make noise and don't run.
moved, but we should talk about.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
You can tell us in a minute.
I'm Kelly Rosalie this year. I represent Child Care Resources. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Is it time to talk about our shoes then?
Oh,
I
yes,
think.
okay, you gotta check out our shoes, look.
Do you have socks on, Joel? Okay, well.
Joel and I didn't even call each other this morning, and we still pulled it
matching
off.
Converse.
Yes.
Nobody
And
told
your
me.
shoes are
But
You did not
Kelly,
tell me I
Kelly
would be wearing
does
them.
the best with
Yeah.
those. Those are beautiful.
They're like a deluxe accordion.
Well, they are that color.
Yeah.
Red.
Well, right before the camera came on, you were about to tell us
Swinging on.
what's going on at Child Care Resources.
Well, the first thing is we moved in and our neighbors with MCAT.
Yeah.
We're right
Wonderful.
upstairs, which we've only been there since the middle of July. We're really happy to be here, so that's great.
Yeah, and you just had an open house.
We did.
Moving
You didn't
is
come
stressful,
to the
though.
open
know.
house.
I looked at the sandwich sign. I was like, darn it.
Too bad. We had
Yeah,
good food.
I heard.
Are you all settled in?
We are all settled in. And also this summer we started offering help finding childcare, referrals to childcare. So that was a program we used to have. It got centralized. Now it's back. So we have a database of all the childcare facilities in our area. We update it regularly with their vacancies and their rates and things like that. So
Wow.
when parents need to find childcare, I know most parents ask their friends who they're using and so on, but sometimes that breaks down or they don't know
Or
anybody.
you moved to town.
Right, you're new to
or-
town. And so then we have that database and we can try to match up their schedules, the ages of their children and so on with child cares that have vacancies.
Oh, that's a huge resource.
yeah,
there was
that's
just
wonderful.
that article in the Missoula
Yes.
a few
Oh, that
days
was
ago.
scary.
Yes, and infant care is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Lots of facilities do not take infants. You have to have more adults to take care of babies
Right.
than you would for a little bit older children. And so a lot of facilities just are not able to offer infant care. So we really do have a problem with that. Then the other thing we do is that we help lower income families pay for childcare. So we offer a scholarship program. It's kind of an intensive application because it's a government funded program, you know,
Right.
so a lot of stuff. But once we get through that paperwork, which we're happy to do with people, then we can pay, when people are eligible, we can pay for their childcare directly.
Oh my God.
They have
Didn't
to,
the article suggest that child care was as much as in-state tuition now?
it is
Yeah.
more.
It was
More.
like $9,000
Right.
Yes.
a year.
So regular care for a preschool child, a child that's over 2 years old, is probably going to be $800 a month in Missoula. And if it's an infant, it'll be $900 at least for a child under the age of 2. So that's a lot of money. And of course, they go year round, which many students do not. They go 2 semesters, college students. So it's very expensive because you can't have 30 babies with one grown up.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know, so that it's just a very labor-intensive thing. It's not that child care providers are getting rich. They're not.
No, I think they're not the ones making the
No,
money.
they
on
are
this.
not. So anyway, we help families who are working but not making very much money. We help high school students pay for childcare so they can stay in school and graduate. And we help university and Missoula College students who are going to school. They might be working. If they're a single parent, they wouldn't have to work, though most of them do work some. And we can pay for the childcare during school and also during work.
Wow.
So that they
Who are
can.
people examining child care
They should.
resources?
They should call us, and we can talk to them. Our employees who do that work can talk to them a little bit and help them understand whether it would make sense to fill out that paperwork. And then if they want to, then we'll help walk them through that, and it's a really good deal. And they.
Kelly, do you have any sense of like how many clients you help in any
We help.
given day, week, year, whatever?
Last month we had 750 families with almost 900 children on that caseload, that scholarship caseload. But 2/3 of our children, before they go to kindergarten, live with working parents, where either the one parent or both parents are working. So only 1/3 of our children are living with a parent that doesn't work. So it's an issue finding good quality for all parents, all working parents. And for a lot of parents, even though it might make no financial sense in the short term because of the cost of childcare, even professionals have trouble leaving their career.
Right,
to,
stepping out for 5
years,
productive years, and also there are a lot of people of both genders who want to work, who get immense satisfaction out of their work.
Sure,
So,
but
I
let's
mean,
say you're a
it's a
starting attorney,
necessity.
or a starting lawyer, or a banker, or anything. You can't just walk away from that. It's part of the reason that women earn less money than men, because they do take time out for childbearing.
Exactly.
So some folks just cannot do it, and so they're going to have to pay these big fees, and so it's something we need to work on as a society about how we're going to handle that.
Right.
So, yeah. And then we also train childcare workers, so we offer a variety of professional development courses, both in person and online, to help childcare providers be qualified and learn more about their jobs. So,
and when clients come to you for help finding childcare or paying for it, do you keep information about whether they're certified or certifications are up to date and those sorts of things?
We maintain records on licensed facilities, and then there are unlicensed facilities that are legally operating, and we have information on them too, like preschools that just are part-day, part-year programs, school-age programs. Many of them are not licensed. After-school programs like campfire programs and Flagship and Boys and Girls Club, they're not licensed. So we have that information. We can share it with them as well. Parks Department offers a wonderful after-school program. Not licensed, but it's wonderful. They do a lot of fun things with the kids. So we help connect them to what they need. Head Start programs, for example, we have information about them too. So, but as far as the scholarship program goes, it has to be a licensed program.
Right, got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the state investigates those, monitors that licensing and so on.
Yeah.
So if someone is out there and they are a child care provider, Child Care Resources has things to offer them.
We have resources for them to help them get training for their staff, for themselves. We can consult with them, offer technical assistance. We've been doing a lot of work lately on the new overtime regulations and as they pertain to child care facilities and how are they going to be impacted by that, because most center directors are currently classified as exempt, but they do not make that much money.
Right.
So they will not be exempt after December.
Wow. So it's something people need to take into account as well.
Right.
So you can give legal advice?
Well, no, not legal advice. No. We give them some information. We advise them to talk to their attorneys, but we do have some fact sheets and so on that would be, and to draw their attention to something they do need to ask a professional about. But we help them with all kinds of stuff, like how to serve a child who has a behavior challenge that they're just having trouble with. How might they better serve that child, better reach that child? How might the adults behave in order to better reach that child? And so we might go out and observe what's going on, coach the teachers, share some resources.
Wow, you're that
and help them.
hands-on that you'll go and... That's amazing. And is most of your funding come through the state? Or?
It is state funding primarily. There's federal funding that then the state matches. We have a little bit of county funding, a little bit of United Way funding, a little bit of foundation money, and we do a little fundraising. So.
Wow. Our tax dollars at work.
Correct.
Good
really,
mix,
yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
And you have a beautiful front counter upstairs. I was looking for you Friday, so I went up and I saw it. And do you have a lot of people drop in or come in by appointment?
They don't need an appointment, but we do have a lot of people come in, parents for that scholarship program, either to apply or to drop off paperwork, their school schedule, their work verification, their pay stubs, whatever. They can send all that stuff electronically. They can fax it to us. We can do all our business on the phone. But some folks, it's just easier to bring it in. We'll photocopy it for them. They might want to talk to a caseworker. But they don't need an appointment. They can come anytime, 8 to 5. Monday through Friday.
Oh, that's great. And I know it's on the corner of Spruce and Higgins.
Correct.
The northeast corner of Spruce and Higgins.
Correct.
And then just go up to the second floor, and it's to the right.
Welcome to the building.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're happy to be here. There's short-term parking in the back, too. Free short-term parking in the back.
Slots.
We don't have any for us. There is just for all building and people.
30-minute stop and go.
So they can use that. So because people, our customers, they're there for 15 or 20 minutes. They do not need a half an hour of paid parking, and the elevator's back there, so it's a little bit easier for them with the little children.
That's good to know.
So don't park in it, Joel.
Yeah, exactly. Because you think sometimes you want to park there, and you're gonna run in and out, and
Right.
then somebody interrupts you.
Right.
And then
you're-
2 hours go by, and
you're
like,
in the
"Oh,
short-term
Jiminy."
parking.
Yeah,
You're in the short term.
Yeah.
It's tough around here.
Well, it's great to learn more about what you do. I've always known that you do great work, but I didn't know all the great work you do.
Lots of good
So,
stuff.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me. It's
Oh, you're
great
most
to be
welcome.
here.
Thanks for coming down, and feel free to come down anytime.
Oh,
The
yeah,
show is
anytime
every
you have
other
anything
Monday.
going on.
But if something comes up, you'll be like, those guys downstairs.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're most welcome. We're going to talk to representatives from the Poverello Center. They've got a fundraiser coming up involving pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Yeah.
It's October.
So we'll be right back after this.
There's going to be some
At
legislation.
Missoula Aging Services, you'll always be greeted with a warm welcome. Whether you are caring for an aging loved one or you're an older adult yourself, our friendly staff is ready to connect you to the help you need. You will always get unbiased advice, a free assessment of your needs, and personalized information about the resources available. See what we can do for you. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
For too long, corporate tobacco has exploited our people, manipulated our practices, and profited from our addiction. No more. If you struggle with commercial tobacco addiction, call the American Indian Commercial Tobacco Quit Line today at 1-855-372-0037.
We're back with Laura Folkwine. She is here representing Poverello, and the Poverello is having a Pumpkins for the POV event. Welcome and thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Good for you for getting on that October bandwagon with an event.
Right? You know, if everyone else is on the bandwagon, we'll get on with them.
This is the first pumpkin we've had on the show, so I think it's good.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it.
Good.
I really wanted one. You know, when I was putting the little MCAT fan on there, I said, oh, if only I had a pumpkin for this table.
It is yours to keep.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, we couldn't.
Okay, well now, oh, I see. So are people asked to buy a pumpkin online in advance?
That is right.
Okay.
Yes, we're asking you to go to pumpkinsforthepov.org
Okay.
and to buy a pumpkin for $10. And if you feel more generous than that, you can of course make a donation of more than 10.
Oh, this is
Do
great.
that.
And then we're inviting you to come and pick up your pumpkin.
Right.
And that'll be October 15th.
Oh, so essentially the pub is having an online pumpkin sale.
This is such a great idea.
It's a key way of raising awareness
It
too.
is.
You know that the POV is there and could use public support.
Because I remember, especially when I had younger kids, that, you know, it'd be last minute and all the good pumpkins were gone at the supermarket, and it was something you keep meaning to do when you don't do it.
Yeah.
And this is easy. You can do a good deed, reserve your pumpkin, pick it up when it's convenient.
Exactly.
This is super.
Oh, this is great. You know, it's like the Kiwanis do the Christmas tree sale.
Very much. Like
Right.
Kiwanis and the Boy Scouts. Yeah.
Do the
Just
Christmas. This
doing
is a
pumpkins.
pumpkin sale.
Yep.
No
And
one
we'll
else
have a
is doing
special event on the 15th, a little bit of a Halloween party.
Oh, tell us about that.
We're going to gather in the old Safeway parking lot next to St. Pat's.
Okay, the old Safeway parking
Yes.
lot.
Yes. So we'll have, I hope we have some hay bales, some straw
Yes.
bales, and
Yes.
corn stalks. And we'll have spooky music and pumpkin pickup and cider and a costume contest.
And a costume contest.
Yes, I'm particularly excited about that.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's
it'll be a great
terrific.
family event. Pick out your pumpkin and have some fun, have some snacks, and talk about the POV if you want. We'll be there to answer questions and to
Sure.
folks.
And the event is coming up this Saturday, the 15th, from 4 to 6 p.m.
That's
so
right.
a 2-hour window. Do you know
2-hour
when you're
window.
going to do the costume contest?
I don't.
No wonder.
We have not made that very.
Okay.
We haven't planned that far ahead yet.
Right.
I would
well,
say
it could be for the
come
people who
early.
are there.
Right.
So-
And maybe we'll take pictures and judge. Who knows what we'll
Yeah.
come up with.
So you can just go and show up to the party on the 15th,
Yes.
right?
And then if you
Okay.
cannot make it, life happens.
Yeah.
Please just give us a call and we'll figure out how to get you your pumpkin.
Oh, okay, because that's where you'll pick up your pumpkin if you go online now. But see, it's
Yeah.
just such a cool thing. You can go online while you're at your desk at work, say, I want 2 pumpkins,
Right.
and it's done.
It's done.
And also, as it mentions here in the press release, any donation above $10 is tax deductible.
Right.
Because
Yes.
that's the donation
Yeah.
outright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a wonderful way to raise awareness for the cause.
Where are you getting your pumpkins?
Well, we're excited. A local farmer
Oh, good.
had been kind of wanting to do this for a little while.
Neat.
And he's grown us a big crop of pumpkins, and they are ripening as we speak.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. So you have your own line on the pumpkins. That they are themselves a donation to the pod.
They are. Yeah, this
Oh, that's
generous
really
guy.
great.
We've been getting updates on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
We're posting photos of the pumpkins as
Yeah.
they grow, and our kitchen coordinator was just out there looking at them. And
Oh, that's so great.
fun.
That's so great. So in addition to the fundraising aspect of people buying their pumpkins and donating more on top of just their pumpkin purchase, it sounds like with this event in the old Safeway parking lot, that it's really kind of a fun-making and here we are in the neighborhood wanting to just throw a party for all of you events.
it really is. Yep, it's a way for us to kind of share with the community our excitement.
Yeah.
We're settled in the new building.
Yeah, how long has it been now?
It'll be 2 years on
Wow.
December 12th.
That's
Wow.
something.
That is something. Time flies when you're
It
having
really
fun.
does. And now I feel like the pub has always been there.
I know,
Which
I
is odd, because
know.
I always felt like it's always been right.
I
down
drove
the
by
street
the
here.
old location a few months ago and went, what is that building? And then I remembered.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly we
But you have
adapt.
such a beautiful facility now, and it seems like it's really been a great neighboring opportunity there.
It has. We feel really good about where we are and then the neighborhood. Our homeless outreach team is excellent in terms of fielding community concerns because we know they will be there. But it's good. We have good neighbors, and we're really glad to be in that
Oh,
spot.
congratulations. I
Yeah.
know that was a
Thank
long, long journey, too.
Yes.
Right, but what a good reason for a party.
Yeah.
So online, we've been showing the online location.
Oh, yeah, did he?
Get your pumpkins. There it is again.
Yeah, okay,
There's
from
on
the
Facebook.
page, right?
Thank you.
So, and there's the POV website. And in either way, you can reserve your pumpkins, pay online, go pick them up. Couldn't be easier.
Yeah,
That'll
it sounds
be
a
easier.
wonderful idea. Congratulations, Laura. That's great.
Thank you. We're excited.
And it says here, if you have questions about pumpkins, contact Poverello
Your
Center
usual
Volunteer
pumpkin
Coordinator Anastasia, and that's 532-6682.
Correct.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time
Yeah.
to be with us
Thank
today.
you.
Good luck
It's
with the
my
party.
pleasure.
It sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you. Please
And
come.
we'll be right back. We have Barb Thoreau waiting in the wings, and she's going to talk to you about the new potential Missoula Library. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Someone who understands.
Hello, folks. Do you remember?
Look down that lonesome road. Hang down your head and cry.
Lonesome Road, and that phrase, hang down your head and cry, I think applies especially to any person whose carelessness with a fire in the forest results in the destruction of vitally needed timber and valuable watershed lands. Certainly no road is more lonesome and desolate than a road through a burned-over, blackened, and ugly forest.
Look down that lonesome road. Hang down your head and cry.
Okay, we are back with Barb Thoreau. She's representing Yes for Missoula Libraries. Welcome.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So give people a little background on the campaign. Why is there a Yes for Missoula Libraries?
There is a bond initiative campaign that is going on for the November 8th election. Or when you get your mail-in ballots on, say, the 15th of October.
Yeah, it'll be soon.
It's coming up. In case you didn't know, there is an election coming up.
Right. How could you have missed that?
And one of the local issues is a countywide issue, a bond for the new library.
And people would say, well, why? What's wrong with the library?
The library is fabulous, and it's the busiest library in the state. But 5 years ago, it was determined that it needed to be 3 times the size that it is.
Yeah.
And not only for size, but infrastructure. We know we need to expand. We cannot build on top of the existing footings. We need to bring in faster, stronger internet kinds of services. We have no capability of doing that and upgrading and doing some of those things to upgrade our services. You're right, our library is fabulous. It's just a little bit out of date, and it is way out of space.
Right.
I remember one of my favorite statistics on the fact sheet that we've all, used is 1,500 visitors a day, and they have seats for 36. So
38.
38.
More than you think.
Oh, okay. But I mean, you can
Keeps them
imagine
moving
that.
that way.
Yeah, right. Let's keep rotating.
I don't know, I go into bookstores when I go places, I go into libraries when I go places, and it's obvious. I don't think about it here in Missoula because I know the Missoula Public Library is really active, and there are 7 branches, so they're all active. But I never totally paid attention to the fact that people aren't sitting down and studying and using it like a library. Web Alley is always full.
Always.
So it's that lack of space to do some of the research that a lot of people do, to sit, read your magazine, connect on the internet. I mean, and libraries have expanded beyond books. You can check out DVDs, you can check out music, a telescope.
Telescope is on my mind.
I know.
The seed library is interesting.
Right.
You can upgrade and get a passport. There's notary service.
Yeah.
There's just a lot
It's so
that
much.
you can find at the library.
And I have to say, with my job, I get to work with libraries all over the state, and I've seen what happened in Bozeman and in
They got a
Billings.
new library in Bozeman, they got a new library in Billings,
right? And what it meant to that community to have this gorgeous, a proud building that's for all.
A proud building for
community
all,
members.
and it's helped in the economic development
Yeah.
of the areas that those libraries were built in. The hoped location for the new library is the block east of where it is, so that's right within the downtown master plan of developing things for museums and cultural sorts of activities, and then leading into Kiwanis Park. So that's a plus. And every wonderful community has an active library.
Yeah.
It's kind of the heart of a community.
And can you talk for a minute about the kind of Library Plus, this European Cultural Center idea that is going
The
forward?
concept is to have a cultural house, which is a European, a Scandinavian concept, where there are other things besides the library, other services. And there are 3 partners at this point that are identified, MCAT being one.
Yeah, one of them, disclaimer.
We're
people.
not objective in this, yeah.
MCAT and the Children's Museum and Spectrum UM will have space within the building, and their services will become available, and their services will be free.
Yes.
There'll be a few things like some of the camp programs and the birthday parties that there'll still be a fee for, but in essence, all of the programming that happens will be open and free to the public, which I think will just help immensely with all those other literacy values learning how to run some of the cameras and make movies and do things that are offered at MCAT. The Spectrum UM currently has displays in the library and has had for a couple of years. And they have a new one right now that's on X-rays, and you can play with a skeleton and do all that.
And we should,
for Halloween, right?
Yeah, right, perfect.
Clarify for people if they don't know Spectrum UM, it is a science discovery center education aimed at getting young kids interested in science to pursue science as a career. And that they have wonderful programs, right? And,
yes, they do.
And serve thousands of students in the area.
So with all of these, the three nonprofits and the library, we all have common missions in terms of learning and literacy of one kind or another, media literacy, science literacy. So it's just such a great symbiotic partnership.
And it gives a lot of vibrancy to a building and again to a community. I did go. I was one of the people that went to see what it was all about in Sweden.
On the trip,
And, we all paid our way because we were interested in seeing things and visiting museums. And it was fascinating to see what people had put together. And, one place that was just like having ZAC and a library and a science center and all the things that can go on. So you just kind of think outside that box and what brings people to a place.
Yeah. And we had talked, the partners, disclaimer, that we would work together to do events 2 or 3 times a year together that would combine technology and video and interest children might have from a children's museum perspective.
And it's not only children, but teenagers. There's a lot of high school students that need to have some experience with working cameras and music and whatever else.
Yeah, soon there'll be the video resume, apparently.
Exactly.
Right.
And you can't all schedule an appointment here and schedule everybody through, but hopefully with some expanded hours, bring some expanded service. But, we all have to think how that's all going to work.
Yeah.
So do you want to give us an update on where, like the details of the bond that people are going to be voting on?
The details of the bond it is a county bond initiative, and it is for a $30 million bond. We have hopes of building a $35 or $38 million building. There is also a private capital campaign going on at the same time. So there is people buying in on all levels. And yes, there have been some bonds, but this library project we've been working on for 5 years.
Yeah.
And have some good partners, have some good direction that we know we want to go in. There is no final design yet that's happened. That's all hinging upon a bond passing and then knowing how much we have from our private sources as well as the bond, and then designing a building. And this Friday, first Friday at A&E Architects, which is next door to Fact and Fiction.
Conveniently located.
Right downtown.
There will be an open house with Library Foundation and Library Board people talking about the concept. The new library bicycle will be there.
Oh, that is so cool. I haven't seen it yet.
You can come
Oh,
in
that
and
bicycle bookmobile?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've seen pictures
It
of it.
debuted last week on campus when they took some books for the big read. And
That's
it was
one
in the homecoming
fit
group.
librarian.
Yeah. Well, it has 25 gears or something, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a lot of torque.
Yeah. So it gives some mobility.
Now, when someone asked you, I heard you say this once, when someone asked you how much it would cost an average homeowner, how much this bond would cost, and you have as a bookseller, you have a great answer.
The answer is, for the average home, it's $2.40 a month, or per year the cost of a hardcover book. Or then I like to throw in that it's also the cost of perhaps one concert at the Wilma.
Right?
So it's relatively a small return for a great return on culture and information and a heart of a
Absolutely. It's less than one latte a month. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
It is
That's
less
really,
than one latte
the
a month.
coffee perspective is scary.
Well, Barbara, thank you for working so hard on
Yeah,
this.
you've been tireless, really.
Well, and I'm going to get tired, but it's an important.
There's like a month and some days to go.
It is.
Yep.
It is an important concept and it's an exciting one. So I am happy to be here. And you have to vote on page 3. I just found that.
Oh, it's on page at the end.
End of the
Go.
ballot.
Yeah.
So it's a long ballot. So again, a reason to, when you get your mail-in ballot, open it up.
Do it at
immediately.
home. Open it up at home, mark it, and mail it. Also, are there still yard signs available?
There are still yard signs available at Fact and Fiction.
Good.
And they'll be at Fact and Fiction during the First Friday event. And I think there are other ways to get them during the markets.
Right.
People that are still talking.
You'll see the friendly table at Farmers Market. I've been there. Joel's been knocking on doors. Barbara's everywhere. So.
And it's just a happy purple sign.
Yeah.
Vote yes for our library is what it says. So.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yes. Though we're not supposed to advocate as nonprofits,
No.
we're merely giving information.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That's
Fingers
what
crossed that you're informed.
Receptive to informed. That's it.
Yes, we are informed, but that part of the political side of me, I'm allowed to say, vote yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
You are too.
Oh, I am. I'm just a volunteer.
But I'm on the clock unless I go off
That's
the clock
right.
for 10
Right.
minutes.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
All right, great. Barbara, thank you again so
Yeah.
much for coming
Thank
by.
you.
Are we done? I guess.
I think we're done. It's 4 minutes to
Oh
5.
gosh, we better go see if anyone else has entered our Dude at 72 contest.
Oh gosh.
Ending in 4 minutes. So thanks to everyone that participated or even thought about participated or ended up in a teary heap this weekend because you tried to participate. It was very noble of you. Once again, dear viewer, you can see the result of all this blood, sweat, and tears this coming Sunday, October the 9th, at the Roxy Theater, 718 South Higgins, 5 p.m. The screening is an award screening. It's absolutely free, so please come and support these local filmmakers.
That's right. It's free, so you have money for the organic popcorn and
Yeah, you could buy
local
stuff.
brew or whatever.
Well, for MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Parade is the Missoula Public Schools middle float consists of students in grades 7 and 8 from all 3 of the middle school orchestras, and Mr. Michael Johns, Meadow Hill director, on electric bass, Mr. Jason Gruber with CS Porter Middle School on upright bass, and the ball guy in the middle is Mr. Kurt Easter from Washington Middle School, and the actor and Wood for their continued support. So that is the middle float and there's attention. Is the vote for Randy Holloway for Justice of the Peace. Judge Randy Holloway.